following podcast contains frequent graphic violence, adult themes including discrimination, and language which some listeners may find offensive. Given that we are going into a business deal, say, may Handrick keep your scale higher than the other side. This is going to be a short and half-casted version of the regular podcast because neither Steve nor Tish could do it today. So we won't bother with a recap. As we stand, Ebenezer, Gütte, and Seraphina, Esmerelda, Honeycakes are preparing to go over to the merchants, over to the Golden Trout, to meet up with Guildmaster Megarius. At the moment, they are in the Crossed Pikes Inn, run by Franz Bowman. It is starting to get dark. It has gone 7 bells. What are you doing?
Are we together?
Yes. Well, you can be. I think you spent, but the pair of you decided to spend the entire time preparing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're cleaning up and just sort of getting our stuff together and making ourselves look presentable.
All right. How do I look?
You look alright.
And that's all right.
Hang on a minute, yeah, that's a bit like wonky on that side. I'll pull this hat.
Well, if you're gonna fucking sort, I'm gonna have to get on my fucking knees, aren't I? Right. All right. There we go.
Right. That looks much better.
Right. Not too jaunty, right?
Nope, looks just right.
Right. Good.
Oh, wow, what about me? How's my outfit? I've taken off that purple jerkin for now.
I know. Tuck in there. Make that bit come up. Pull that hem down a little bit.
Right.
I mean, you got to sell something.
This is not all flesh must be eaten, so I'm not going to ask you to make a beautician roll. Okay.
So primping and proffering.
Yeah. Okay. Whether you just make a D100 based on dexterity, since you're primping each other.
Yeah, that's a pass.
Ebenezer?
A pass.
Okay, so yep, both of you looking pretty nice. Also, both make a perception, please. This is going to be a average perception plus 20.
Nah.
Not a chance.
Okay. Right,
Plus
so
20
you
is just
sat
not
there.
quite generous.
You're also aware that you need to get Franz Bowman back into, because he asked if he could come because you're also trying to sell the half measure to Megarius.
Yep.
You've given him about 4 hours to sober up because he was off his nut because he was so annoyed at this quintuple crossing that Philippe had managed to establish.
I mean, is he not preparing with us?
No, you told him to go to sleep. I mean, it was about 4 or 5 in the evening, and you came back into the Cross Pikes Inn. He was drunk, and you told him to go and sober himself up if you wanted to come.
Well, I imagine once we are prim and proper, we go give him a knockaround.
Okay, so you're just going to sort of walk up there. There's Ryan and Ryan, the two huge guys that are his normal bodyguards. They'll let you in. but they keep an eye on you. He's face down on the bed. Tap him, and he's...
Yeah, you got to kind of get yourself looking a bit more dapper there. Got
Right.
You know what it's like. You got to meet someone. You got to, give them the confidence game. Get them confident.
Right. He shakes his head like a dog and stands up. Yeah. Right. Out of here, and I will put on my flash togs, as they say over in Altdorf.
gonna leave him to do that because I don't want to see that.
Ebenezer, you also leaving?
Yeah. Franz
okay.
himself. He's a grown boy.
2 minutes later, he emerges dressed like a noble.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Albert. It's not his first rodeo either.
Yeah, he is. He's completely also changed the entire look of his face. He's put makeup on so that he doesn't look like Franz Bowman.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Tonight, Matthew.
I imagine Ebenezer takes some mental notes as to, oh yes, how can I emphasize Librum and not... How can I emphasize Ebenezer Librum and not Castor Librum? How can I make it look similar enough but different? Picking it out on the
Hello,
makeup.
my business associates.
Associate, good to see you.
Yes, Francis Baumeister is my name.
Francis Baumeister, it's good to meet you. I'm Ebenezer Librum.
Indeed. And what is your name, little one?
Nice to meet you. My name is Seraphina Esmerelda Honeycakes. I can't remember my name. Wow, look at you.
I get that a lot.
Our friend Franz here. May I call you Franz?
Oh. Francis.
Francis, sorry. Our friend Francis here is certainly ready for any sort of affair we bring to him, aren't you, Francis?
I will turn anything to my advantage. What do you take me for, an idiot?
Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely.
Call me Von Baumeister.
Francis von
Baumeister.
Baumeister. Right. That sounds right.
Are we heading straight to the Golden Trout, or...? You can tell that he's hungover, but he's still, with it.
What time is it, George, in the game?
It can be any time you want it to be. The Nornghal and Stör left at 7 bells, so it's any time between 7 and 9.
Before we go, though, I just want to do a quick... I guess we don't have to run through it in game, but could I just go and find some wild garlic, please?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Make a what would it be? Law plants or outdoor survival, whichever is higher.
I think my law plants is...
Wild garlic grows within towns, so...
Yes, that's a pass. Woo.
Okay, so you find some wild garlic.
I pick up enough for a few people to have some. I'll get back.
Okay, Seraphina, while you're doing that, you observe that the Chaos Moon Morslide is even bigger and fuller above the town. Can you make a perception, please?
Yep. I don't think that's a pass. Just give me one sec. No, that's definitely not a pass.
Okay.
I wish we had our dwarf and our fisher person.
I know.
They might have working eyes.
But they're dealing with Crusher and his marital problems and his.
Ah, yes, the D to Z plot.
Oh, is there anything else? I can't just.
Yeah, you've got 2 hours to decide what you're going to do.
All right, so we want to sell the half measure. I mean, it's currently just a big building-shaped hole burning through our pockets. Franz didn't want it; he wanted the racket running, and we got him. But a building with fuck all in it. I mean, I'm not going to stick around here and pay for it or run it or anything. And I don't think you are, Seraphina. I don't think Franz could be asked to run 2 bars with no profit.
I know. I mean, the reason I'm going to see him really is because, well, they don't have an apothecary guild here, and that's what I'd kind of like to set one up. But
yeah, look, you set it up. You say, look, you set it up. You say, I've even got a building you can run out of. I mean, half measure's not badly situated. I mean, rent can easily pay for foot traffic of your average fucking Empire's man who's got a bit of a cough or a sniffle and wants to go a little bit overboard rather than just sit at home and just let shit go. If we just sell the building, the idea to him.
yeah, and I think as well, like I obviously, when we're off doing other things, we need someone to be a representative for this apothecary guild. And obviously I got like my family back in the Moos, they're all apothecary. That's what we do. So
yeah, just send 4 or 6 of them here.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking.
Seriously, how do you Arthurs get so buggering many of you?
I don't know, really. I don't really think about it like that.
I mean, do you
Fucking really down to the little like rabbits.
Itself, make way down to moat. Bring paper back.
Well, we got a building to run it, and it's gonna turn a bit of profit. So if no one even wants it to be a bar, it could.
I mean,
be
we
the
don't even
premises.
need to run it. We just need to sell the idea and the space.
I reckon we could do that. I reckon he'd be on board for it. I mean, what do we want out of it as well? At the end of the day, we need to try and we want money, but we're also trying to figure out what his game is.
Can I be honest with you, Seraphina? And I try and pull Seraphina a little bit away from France.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll if you're trying to pull him away, he will. He's a devout follower of Reynald. If you're trying to pull her away to like do some secrecy, he will literally walk to the other side so he doesn't know what the secrecy is.
Look, we don't give a shit what Macarius' deal is. Well, actually, we do, because we want to deal with him. But, so long as we get cash in hand, fuck him. We know he's probably a bad one. He's been dealing with this fucking undead, this vampire Toygan fellow. So
we don't know that though. He doesn't seem to be like one of them. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling.
Nobody seems like a fucking mutant until you pull off all their fucking short clothes and lift them by the fucking ankles, do they?
Yeah, but I've seen him in the daylight. I ain't seen any of the others in the daylight.
He's not a vampire.
No, he's not. But if we want to get this deal done, we also don't want him dead.
Look, your man works and endorses your man Toygan. The man who's, the saviour of Boganafen, but he never comes out and during the daytime he makes all the meetings during the night. Oh, and what was his name? Yeah. Oh, and our mate, Nornghal's mate, face down, puncture marks in him. Oh, I wonder who he fucking bumped into.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. There's the inner council, which is what Toygan's part of, isn't he? But I know that all the inner council are all like tradesmen and stuff like that. Megarius, he's just the guild master.
Yeah, and who better to influence to move things your way?
Well, yeah, I know. But we
Look.
also don't want him dead. And I'm worried
No.
he's going to go off to this meeting later and...
I think you'll find we don't give a shit if he's dead or not.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, what's he going to do for us if he's alive?
Well, help move this deal along with getting an apothecary guild, making us some money for that fucking building.
Well, he either signs it now or leaves a piece of paper for his underlings now, or he says, actually, it's not worth my time. Either way,
Yeah.
a sharp piece of iron in his fucking neck is not going to stop anything. Business is like a boat. It's like a boat on the river. It's going to keep fucking moving with the current. It doesn't matter if the man at the steer is dead or not. Generally, the water's going to push him along until somebody goes, fucking hell, a free boat.
Alright, so what we need then is some contract out of this meeting, and we need him to do it there and then.
To be fair, we don't even need that. We just need cash in hand. Your man wants to tip out his wallet and say, "Have at it." That'll do.
I do want something in writing though, so I got something for, my apothecary. And
that's fair enough. Anything that gives us later dividends is all well and good. But, Franz has got his racket. We're a little bit low on funds. And I wouldn't mind the extra pocket money. And if you want to secure if you want to kick the Moots Halfland over and put your own Moot Halfland over, I don't know how, your inner politics down there work, and, put it up here. I'm not going to stop you putting up your Honeycakes flag or whatever it is and make this a Honeycakes town. Whatever. All yours. As long as you work with Franz and I get a nice big sack of money, call it a day.
all we need to do, really, isn't it? We just got to convince him it's a good idea and he needs it.
All I want out of today is a big bag of money.
Franz
and a nice
is still
hat.
there, cleaning his fingernails with his knife and just looking at you. But he's not making any effort to overhear your conversation.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we get back to our companion?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sorry, Francis, sensitive business.
Understood. Ebenezer Librung and Seraphina Honeycakes?
Of the Honeycakes.
Of the Honeycake clan, indeed. Well, are we moving on? Or have a quick glass of schnapps before we go?
Well, I shan't say no.
I'm all right. I need to keep a level head on me to do some talking.
Okay, he goes back behind the bar. He pours out 3 tumblers of schnapps, takes one himself and clinks it with you, Ebenezer. Seraphina, it's up to you if you're going to accept this one.
Now
he knocks it back.
I imagine I have a good one.
To unconventional business.
Indeed.
Now, on we go. I'm following you.
Onward. Oh, right, my dear fellow. Would you mind watching this one for me?
Sorry, who were you talking to there?
Probably Ryan at the bar.
Reinhold or Reinhardt?
Yes.
Yeah. It would probably be Reinhold. He's a small, skinny one. So if France is not there, it's going to be Reinhardt manning the door.
I imagine they just put my half a glass of schnapps under the bar, pour it back into the bowl.
Yeah, with a silent nod. And you, along with Franz, leave through the door, and start marching up the street. Both of you can make an average endurance at this point, please.
60 steep hill?
Oh, actually, Seraphine doesn't need to. Just Ebenezer.
Okay.
An average. No
Plus
bonuses.
20.
No. Plus 90.
Plus 20.
Plus 20. Pass.
Okay. Yeah. The
And I
the
needed
chaos
that.
moon is hanging low over the town, covering it in a sickly, horrible green light. And both make a perception at the moment as well.
Okay.
Nope.
I think that's a yep. Yes, it is.
Okay, so Seraphina, when you look in, as you're walking down the street, you look into a puddle,
Mm-hmm.
you see the reflection of Morslabe, the Chaos Moon. There is a horrible grin, a skull-like grin on its face.
Oh, the classic.
Carry on.
I don't like that.
Morslide being out on a night like this is an ominous omen.
Oh, yeah, we all know ominous omens. But
I've known people cancel whole grafts, tricks, plans over that.
so you're telling me I need to go back?
Nah. Like I said, I've seen them do it. I've never done it. I've got money to make, and if they want to be superstitious about it, solemn.
Hang on, before we go any further, and I dig out of my pocket some of the wild garlic. Say, well, it's just put this in your pocket, keep it somewhere safe, right? You might not need it, but it might.
I mean, I'll be honest. I might get hungry later, but I'm not really feeling just like a whole plant. Like, can I fry it up or something?
Nah.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty fucking sure that we're going to get fed.
No, it's not for that. I'll explain it to you later when we leave.
Was it like a party piece?
Just keep it on you. That's all you need to do. Trust me. I'm an apothecary girl. Be useful.
Right.
See on a night like this.
Right, if you say so. I mean, let's see what it's going to do, but alright.
Hey, Francis. My breath don't stink, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but not like garlic.
Is it supposed to smell like garlic?
I don't know. I mean, like, that's what she's been giving out.
Well, look, I mean, I guess we have to chew it.
Maybe chew it. I mean, I'll do it if he'll do it. And he gets this bundle of garlic.
No. She said do it when she says so. Maybe like there's a thing. Maybe it's like a moot thing. You know, they drink like the crushed apple stuff. Cider stuff.
It's a sort of like a palate cleanser sort of thing.
Maybe. I don't know. She might be pulling that sort of like folksy rustic stuff, you know?
Eat garlic and you won't turn into a mutant, that sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe. Well, like I said, we'll see how it goes. If we think it's, going to be... If we think it's going to look stupid, don't bother, you know?
Well, it seems pretty fucking stupid, but...
But no. Like I said, judge it when we get there, but, you know...
It's not difficult for you to come across the Golden Trout Club. You are greeted at the door by a very large and very well armoured and very well established doorman. Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening, sir. Myself and my associates were invited in by Sir Magirius. We are expected.
Guild Master Magirius, indeed. I will send someone to come for you. No weapons are permitted.
Understandable. We wouldn't wish this establishment to be a ruffian house of violence.
Please wait. Wait for about a minute, and then someone else comes back, whispers a couple of words into this guy's ear, who's wearing like full chainmail. He gives a little nod. Well, Caroline Honeycakes,
Hello?
I was given to understand that you have brought along a couple of your business associates.
Yes, that's right. I've brought along Ebenezer Libram and Francis von Baumeister.
Well, would you mind checking your weapons at the door and armour as well?
Well, of course. And I do.
Yeah, Franz doesn't have any, so he just shrugs. Ebenezer, are you trying to conceal any weapons in the...
I give them my short sword and crossbow. And
What,
probably...
keeping...
Well, to be fair, I imagine I would have just strapped on my short sword and a dagger, and so hand those over.
Yep. Okay. If you will come with me, meine Herren and Damen, and he walks very casually through, and this is absolutely astonishing to you. There's a huge, big. It's like a beer hall, except that people are being served what you imagine is Bretonian or Chilean food, just to their demand. You'll walk through this.
Ebenezer doesn't really deal with ethnic food.
And you're walked into a one of several little sort of cubicle things. It's people sitting in tables in very small rooms, and as soon as you come in, they pull the curtain across. When you go into there he is, Friedrich Megarius. Fraulein Honeycakes, and I presume these must be your business associates.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Guildmaster. I take off my hat and give a short bow.
Yeah,
I am
he's already got
Ebenezer
his hat.
Libram.
Yes, Friedrich Megarius, and he looks at Franz with something approximating recognition. So, yes. Well, sit down. I've already ordered us a bottle of sect. He pops open a bottle of sparkling wine and starts pouring it round. So, you might want to look at the bill of fare, I suppose.
Yeah, yes, please. Okay.
I mean, this is a long. This is going to be a long meal.
How many courses?
6, 7, something like this.
Crumbs.
I imagine that there's a massive smile on my face at the sound of that.
I imagine inwardly Ebenezer's like, how the fuck am I going to eat this?
Okay, right. I'm trying to put this in now, so you can like decide what it is you want to eat.
I imagine half of Ebenezer's job is going, what? How much of this is actually food, and how much of this is actually just a fucking noble pista?
Okay, so there you go. The first one that I've come over. It's on the reference
Is a
one.
Volo Von. That doesn't sound any good.
Right, so it's onto the reference one where it's I did it 9 minutes past 9. Bill of fare. So he says, you just pick one from every course.
Would I know the difference? Would I know what a sect? Well, what a sect is?
Sect, yeah, it's sect is the German equivalent of champagne.
Ah, I see. Well, we'll start with I imagine Ebenezer will start with a sect, moving into deviled herrings, You probably then go for. He's a sausage. He's a city boy, so sausages with cheese and blue cheese. He'd go for the schnapps and tea because that is the only choice on that course.
Yeah, that's an aperitif course.
Oh, I see.
Soup course.
For the soup course, he'd probably go for a beef and bone marrow broth. Moving into the fish course, onto a. Probably want to go for something light at this point. Probably a fried battered salt mackerel with herb butter and crisp turnip slices. On the palate cleanser course, he'd move on to the horse blood sausage balls and a spice red wine reduction. Go for the next aperitif course. And then move into. You'd probably go for a hare stuffed with sausage of wild venison and milk-fed veal. Have a glass of sec, and on to the dessert course, at which point he would probably have wine-poached pears, lightly fried in bacon fat. The cheese, preserves, tea, ale and brandy course, for the digestif course. And to drink, I imagine he would have... Not being a big drinker himself, he'd probably go for the range of ales. Because it seemed... Actually, no.
Ciderkin, though.
I was thinking, would Ebenezer know what a lager is?
Yeah, of course.
Then he'd probably go for the Seamus lager.
Seraphina.
Because he knows it's light.
Okay, I would go for probably the sherry. And then the eggs poached in garlic milk on hazelnut flour bread. And then pork dumplings and hot cider sauce because cider. The aperitif and then the soup course. Probably the bread and port wine soup with pheasant. Fish course. The salt mackerel. The fried battered salt mackerel with herb butter and crisp turnip slices. Sounds nice. Palate cleanser. Yeah, probably honeycakes, with peppermint and tansy and served with cream. And then an aperitif. And then for the main course, a whole duckling deep fried in a bread crust and served with brandy gravy. Sect as the aperitif thingy. And then a dessert, I guess. The roasted grapes, stewed apples and blackberries, and red wine poached pears, all in a mead reduction. And then the cheese and bits and pieces afterwards.
Okay, everyone happy with that as their food?
Yep, I don't see a problem. Well, I do see many a problem. It's a massive fucking, this would be a stomach bursting death. But
yeah.
I imagine Ebenezer is just happy to get his money's worth.
You're not paying for it.
Exactly! His money's worth!
So Mugurius is there. Yes, I've already ordered. And he's handed you around these bills of fare. And you've decided what it is that you wanted to eat and relayed this to the waiter, who nods very politely and moves away. So first, sherry or sect? Says Mugurius.
Sherry, please.
I've always had a preference for sherry myself, sir.
He pours you each out a very small glass. Franz is there. He looks completely out of his depth. He doesn't seem to know what he's doing, but he holds out his set glass to receive the sherry. Gets a raised eyebrow from Megarius, who fills it up anyway. So, well, to a business venture. Raising his sherry glass. Tink.
I clink glasses.
Yep.
Well, I think it's crass to discuss business before we've eaten. Anyone need to get anything out of the way before we get into the hors d'oeuvre, at least?
I would like to give my wholehearted thanks for agreeing to see my friend Esmerelda Honeycakes and myself and my business associate Francis von Alsman this evening, Guildmaster Megarius.
Indeed, and your name, sir?
Ebenezer Librum.
To Ebenezer Librum.
Clink.
Clink.
And long may his astonishing ability to bring people together continue. He drains his sherry glass and puts it back on the table.
I give a smile and drain my glass also.
Franz does the same.
I imagine there's a noticeable grimace as I do so.
What, because you don't drink?
Not quite as much, not quite as quickly. Like I said, for someone who's inexperienced with just drinking comparatively large volumes of high percent spirits, yes.
Would it be seen as unusual for not that I'm being sexist, but in this setting, would Seraphina do the same and down the drink in front of someone like that, or would she?
Yes, because this is not in Bretonia. There's sexism. In the Empire, there isn't.
Yeah.
In Warhammer, you can be a trollop without a question, because life is shit here for everyone.
Yeah, it's that. If a woman wants to do something, she can, including necking.
If a woman wants to do something, she can.
Booze.
If a woman doesn't want to do something, as long as it's not paid, as long as she pays taxes, she can not do whatever she wants.
I just want to make sure that I've got like the etiquette right, I suppose. Like what I would do if it's different for a woman or not.
No, in the Empire, there's no sexism in terms of you can do this, therefore I will discriminate against you because you're a woman. It doesn't exist in this world.
Okay, cool. Well, I down it too then. I down my sherry. I guess I drink sherry sometimes, so it's not too.
Probably like, oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, so the hors d'oeuvres come. So, Fraulein Honeycakes, you were interested in establishing another guild here.
Well, yes, I believe there's a bit of a gap in this town, and I think it would be prosperous.
Seems like it. I mean, there is a guild of physicians in this town, but there is no guild of barber surgeons and apothecary. It could be very profitable. So, what are you suggesting as a setup? Should I possibly bring up a building for you to establish the Apothecaries Guild?
Well, it's funny you should say that. And I look at Ebenezer and I look at Francis. Like, well, we've actually come into some property ourselves, which would be a very good base for an apothecary and setting up a guild here.
So, and you have an establishment ready to go.
Indeed, a lovely piece of real estate, fairly city centre to Bogenhafen proper.
Oh, perfect. So you're not actually looking for a startup loan to buy a house in the middle of the town to turn into the guild.
No, as far as we're concerned, the business can begin as soon as we can.
Oh, here come the hors d'oeuvres.
Excellent.
And they are all placed in front of you, whatever it was you ordered. Franz had the deviled herrings as well.
Mm.
Listen, this is absolutely delicious. I know that they call Bergenhafen a little backwater town, but you won't get any better food than the golden trout anywhere. I promise you this.
A lot of the food they serve up country is pretension with no actual flavour profile behind it. I'm sure the flavour profile of Bogenhafen better befits a premier status.
Oh, a true connoisseur.
There are many meals. Why eat poorly?
Looking over to Seraphina, who's probably digging into her garlic milk poached eggs by this point.
Already face down in the plate.
Are the cooks halflings in this place?
What do you say that? Sorry?
Well, this food is delicious. It is well, in the Mootland, we are exceptional cooks, and I would say that something of this quality would be pretty similar to something that would. I'm just trying to ask if the cooks are from the Mootland.
Well, mein Fraulein, the best cooks in the Empire, as everyone knows, are halflings. However, I'm not aware of the staffing of this place. Not to say that you can't cook as a race or as a culture, but we do bring in here all the different flavors, all the different techniques from all across the old world and the new world. You know how to do things in a very traditional fashion, but down here at the Golden Trout, they like to put a little twist on it.
From what I gather, the halflings pass down many things through their family lines. Good sense, lands, and recipes. But there's something about the greater empire that's willing to make a change and move in a more stunning direction, whether for good or for ill.
But you're not talking insurrection.
Absolutely not.
Is it?
The people of the Mootlands, again, they have tried and tested recipes, but the people of the Greater Empire may take such recipes and experiment a little bit more to increase the flavour profile or strike out a new, bold flavour that might be greater appreciated by the people.
So, as he's... I have picked the mussels, clams, oysters, and Olympics with garlic butter for my starter. They can't access these things in the moot. However, we use the halfling ability to establish a good taste combination. And then we use the Imperial ability to use anyone's talents. And the Bretonians do have a love of garlic, and unfortunately for them, their breath smells, but we use it very, very well, especially in conjunction with the Halfling influence. And we have delicious food. And the Bretonians stink, and the Halflings give us our amazing food and are very well established members of the Empire.
Oh, well, I've heard of this sort of new style in culinary practice, and there's actually a really would love to meet him, but he's called something like Gordonius Ramses or something like that, and he's
No.
master of it.
No. We don't deal with the Albionese. Disgusting animals.
It's almost as bad as that Norscan that says that if you make food colder, that it lasts longer. But why would you eat cold food?
Oh, yeah. Franciscus Baconi, I believe. Disgusting. It's.
Yes.
I
heard it. I heard it was a Norscan. Something bird's eye.
Oh.
You know what their names are like. Blood axe, sea seal, that sort of heathen nonsense.
Yes. Well. So, what was it that you wanted to discuss with me, apart from this Apothecary's Guild? I mean, I'm not averse to the idea, and you seem to have an idea of where you will establish it.
I looked at Seraphina.
Yeah. Well, I'm obviously from the Mootlands. My entire family are involved in the apothecary business, and myself, I venture from place to place selling my wares that I make. So I'm thinking of bringing them into the town and having something a little bit more permanent here on my behalf.
Excellent.
But in regards to the sort of building itself, I was wondering if perhaps maybe, they'd be interested in I don't know, do we want him to buy it from us or have a share in it? So I'm just trying.
Right, so you can buy it, yeah. Right. I'll give it to you for 750 crowns. This is crowns coming up. 750 crowns, it's my building. These two have got a stake in it, but I'll pay them off.
I look flummoxed and don't know what to say. Point, I'm like, I'd probably give him a bit of daggers because that's very to the point.
Francis, please. It's not polite to be quite so. I apologise for my friend Von.
As the
He's
starters come in, Megarius ordered the seafood mixture.
The
mussels, clams, oysters, and limpets. Yep. It's a cheese sausage, so there's like cheese stuffed into the sausage. That's the
with blue cheese like melted over or something.
Yeah.
Imagine Ebenezer is like fighting the ice, just dig in and like excuse Francis. But yes, Francis. His family manages most of his estates. He's here to get his first real investment, aren't he? He doesn't quite understand there's a process to this sort of thing.
Excuse me. If I own it, I can flog it for whatever I want.
Francis. May I have a quick word? And I gestured to a side.
Yeah, you can turn aside with him and whisper to him.
Look.
And owing to his guildmaster knowledge, Magirius just turns away and deliberately doesn't listen. So, Miss Honeycakes.
Look. Yeah, we definitely want someone to have it. But asking him directly, it's going to rub him the wrong way, and he's going to, as much money as he stands to gain or lose, he's probably going to say no if we fucking try and insert him like a peddler on the street. Shut up, look. If you look the part,
you don't tell me to shut up.
All right, fair. I apologise. That was untoward, but you know what I mean. Like, if we push him towards it, he's going to push back. Nobles need easy in there. He's sliding. Needs stroking. And coaxing.
You want to get Ryan and Ryan?
Not that kind of coaxing. Look, I imagine you've pulled in your time. I imagine you don't go, "Oi, come home with me." You got to work him in a similar sort of fashion. You got to,
yeah.
You got to pretend interest.
I get the picture. Right.
Look, just getting his. It's basically getting into his trousers, but instead of his trousers, in his coin purse.
I feel a bit sick. I might have to go home.
No. Look, just excuse yourself into the bathroom, stick your fingers down and come back.
All right.
And try and pace yourself.
No, it's not that. I feel a bit sick and I might have to go home, if you know what I mean.
Right, alright. Excuse yourself with a noble's bearing. Make excuses. Soothe his ego. Don't make it look like you're walking out, no matter how good of a reason it is. Make it seem like you feel bad and he should forgive you. That's all.
Right. Alright. Punch me in the face.
No!
Alright.
Wrong place.
He walks over to the wall and starts banging his face on the wall.
I immediately just ignore him.
Okay.
Fucking hell. I think we're all just stunned at this sight.
I apologise.
You can't really see this. You've been pulled away, and he's now. But you're in a sort of booth with curtains cut across it. He's walked over to the wall where no one else can see him and started smashing his face on the wall.
I return to the table. Proper rather. I apologise for Master von Hellmeister. He's feeling unwell in a very particular sense. He will not be able to join us for the rest of the evening, but I can easily speak for his part.
Seraphina.
Well, I think that's okay. We can catch up with him again tomorrow.
He gives his sincerest apologies, but he does urge us to continue our transaction.
Right, so you finished your starter, and then the aperitif comes in, schnapps and tea, which means consume alcohol rolls, please.
Hang on, I can't do anything in
Is
this.
Ebenezer sipping and the like?
If you're not going to finish it, then don't bother. But
like I said, Ebenezer nurses. He nurses very hard.
I failed it with 1 degree of failure.
Okay, so you're starting to get drunk. You're at -10 to everything.
Woohoo! Fun time.
Franz starts crawling back in. They beat me up.
No, Franz, you've already been excused. Francis, you've already been excused. I thought you were already on your way back to your home.
They're so horrible to me. They're taking the piss.
Yes, it's absolutely terrible, and I lead him out.
Yeah,
Giving a very sort of...
looks disgusted. What on earth is going on?
Well, it might be something to do with the moon. I don't know. Bit of a funny evening.
Oh, yes. You know that Morse-Lipe is quite a problem when it waxes full, and it has been waxing full for several days now.
Funny, I haven't noticed him acting strange like that until today, though. Not like that, but I think
it might happen. He might possibly have gone mad.
When do I return to the table?
You're still there.
Alright, cool. I hate to cut in Seraphina, but I've known Francis longer than you have, and he is, on rare occasions, prone to these dark moods. I think it's something on his mother's side. Sometimes he's prone to fits of self-mortification.
Okay, Seraphina, you would be familiar with this because that is how Stefan, the Boris Todbringer, his son, is also prone to that. Stefan Todbringer.
okay.
Because he's mad.
Okay. Well, that would make a bit more sense. I understand you've known him a bit longer.
I'm sure the Guildmaster understands certain nuances in.
Yes. Well, we'll forget about Francis von Baumeister. I hope that he's well. He doesn't sound well, but
yes, he tried to tough it out, but he could feel such about coming tonight.
Yes, and you do have staff that will be able to restrain him, and
oh, indeed, I doubt that he'd make too many trips, especially in throws such as these.
Oh,
he has a capable staff to manage such.
And here it comes. Here we go with the real food. Come on.
Wonderful.
As the soup course comes in.
Mm-hmm.
What did you choose, Ebenezer?
I chose the beef bone marrow broth.
Seraphina?
Yeah, sorry. I chose the fried battered salt mackerel.
That's the fish course.
Yes, apologies. The bread and port wine soup with pheasant.
Yeah, that's the same thing that Megarius has had. So, and he says, so I listen, I haven't got to where I am. I'm 59 years old and I am still an active merchant. I haven't got to where I to the place where I am now without knowing what other people are trying to do. And I can promise you, and I'd bet you a crown to a penny, that you have another idea as to why you've invited me to dinner, or induced me to invite you to dinner. What is it that you want to discuss?
Here's the question: do we just fucking? Do we just literally just fucking plop the V word out on him?
Well, okay. I do want to set up an apothecary guild here. That is
Very
honest.
well.
And I honestly really think that this town needs that and would be, like I've already said, it would be beneficial and prosperous for this town as well. In regards to other matters in this town, I mean, we've been here for, well, how long, Ebenezer? I don't know, has it been like a week?
4 days.
All right, 4 days.
Yeah, it's about 4 days, I'd estimate.
And yeah, we have don't know how to put this. It's not the sort of thing that you bring up over dinner, out of respect more than anything else. But
Well, how about another glass of sect? Maybe that will loosen your tongue.
Oh, I shan't say no.
Okay, so that's duly given to you, Ebenezer. Seraphina, are you going to accept the glass of sect?
no, I want a glass of big cock, please. A big cock brandy or whatever it is. I don't want any
Oh,
sect.
big cock. Is it?
I'd rather not drink
All right, so
this
right,
champagne
Ebenezer,
stuff. She doesn't like
you're
it.
going to have to pay for that if you're going to drink cider brandy in the middle of the meal.
Fine.
Okay, so Ebenezer, you are given a glass of sect. Please consume alcohol.
No, you're assuming that I'm not sipping this entire time.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, Seraphina.
Again, this is
you got
like
cider brandy, which is like 60% alcohol by volume.
Yes, flammable apples.
Yeah, roll it. You consume alcohol at -10.
Not good. I don't want to get really drunk because otherwise I'm going to start blabbing stuff. But I also don't want to use a fortune point at this stage either because I might need that.
You don't always just use a fate point.
No, you can't use a fate point for that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can use a resolve point to ignore being drunk.
56. I'm just trying to work out how many levels of failure that is. Yes, quite. I'm going to roll that again. I'm sorry. I'm going to use a fortune point. I don't want to get stupidly drunk because that's just going to f everything up. That's better. That's a pass.
Right, so you're sober.
Yes.
Right, you talking to him about this. Right, carry on then.
Okay. Look, there's strange things that I guess we've noticed, and quite a few people have sadly left this world through pretty strange circumstances, and it's just a general feeling something doesn't feel quite right.
Look, I think us not feeling so right. Paying not too much attention. We've heard that there's been a few killings during the Schaffenfest. It's my friends been bizarre. But no, what I've heard is there's well, back when you brought this city from the brink to its point of current greatness, we've heard that there might be a figure in the back giving you a little bit of a hand. Of course, you are capable.
Excuse me.
No, I'm not downplaying your. Well, let's be honest. You are the guildmaster. You have brought this town to prosperity out of whatever state it was left in and would have been left in by people who don't
I've
care.
ridden the town's coattails to prosperity. It's not me that's managed to do it. Unfortunately, I am the person that seems to be able to continue the town's prosperity rather than cause it.
I think
Yes,
that
but there's a name going around. There's a name on
Yes.
certain lips. Johannes Teugen, that's the one.
Johannes Teugen is a very skilled businessman.
Bird is an eccentric. He only meets in the eve, and he's some sort of economical wizard.
You see him like pause for a couple of. Actually, I hadn't noticed that. Yes, he does. He only ever meets anyone in the evening.
Yes, we wonder.
Well, it's very strange, but he is a financial genius.
Yes, we've heard that certain members of colleges derive their powers from certain places, the winds of magic. Like, we were wondering if perhaps.
I understand where you're coming from now. Oh, look, in comes our main course. Come on.
Delicious.
Let's eat. What's everyone ordered for their main course?
For the main course, I think Ebenezer had ordered. Oh yes, he ordered the hare. The hare stuffed with sausage of wild venison and milk-fed veal.
I had the
Seraphina?
whole duckling. Deep fried in bread crust and served with brandy gravy.
Oh, delicious. Would you care to carve? Yeah. Oh, well, this is delicious, isn't it?
I must say, this hare is to die for.
Seraphina, what are you thinking at the moment? Probably eating it all.
I'm just eating. Yum, yum, yum. If I was a Sim, I would have like that content thing on me.
Right. And Herr Lieberung, have we got anything to discuss before the end of the meal, or do we just?
We were perhaps wondering if, we know that, depending on how you feel on the apothecaries, this apothecary venture, perhaps we might meet with Master Teugen as well for perhaps further ventures in Bergenhafen with yourself present, of course.
So I will not act as go-between. You will have to contact Herr Teugen himself. Do excuse me. The dessert is about to come in. We will have another bottle of sect, and I'm feeling generous today. Shall we have a decanter of brandy between us, and I will discuss everything that's been going on. I think you have a right to know.
We do not wish to impose, but if you do not mind, Guildmaster, then we will be absolutely amenable.
Well, excuse me. I will be. I promise less than a minute. And he leaves and goes to the toilet.
I lean over to Seraphina. It's moments like this that I wish I hadn't been disarmed.
Seems a bit unusual, doesn't it? Why is he's acting a bit funny?
He's either working up the nerve talking to people that we don't know about, or actually taking a shit.
He's got a bit nervous, didn't he, when we were talking about him?
I mean, considering how fucking stuffed I feel, if he's just going to go throw up or take a shit, I wouldn't be surprised. It sounded so fucking good, but Jesus Christ, how they eat so much.
I don't know. What do we do now, then?
What can we do? We wait for him to get back, and I'm going to lean back a bit and try and let some of this go down. How come you don't feel as fucking as I do?
I don't know. Feel alright. I just don't want to drink all this drink. It keeps giving it to us. I'm trying to.
Well, just do what I do and just sip at them. How have you packed so much away? You're like fucking half the size of me, and you're eating. I'm pretty sure like some of the meals you've had are twice the size of me.
You know, like it. It's tasty. Don't really think about it.
I feel like a fucking stuffed goose.
We don't want to get ourselves. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. It's something funny. Don't know.
It feels like McGeary has grabbed me by the throat and shoved it down my fucking mouth and hand tied. Like those what do they do? Those Bretonian birds. You know, they just grab all the shit and shove it down. And then like, I don't know, milk them for it or something? I don't know. It's all Bretonian fucking nonsense. Speaking of, why have we got this garlic? Is it to make our breath smell good? What's the point?
Right, well, look, I'm 100% convinced there's vampires somewhere around. I don't know if he's one. Don't think he is so, because he's eating garlic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen him eat something with garlic on. I mean, is garlic bad for vampires? Does it make their ears grow or something?
Okay, he returns. Oh, hello. I do apologise. Has everyone finished their? Everyone finished? Or are we ready to make some business discussions?
I've finished mine. It was absolutely delicious.
I expected it would be. And you, Helibun.
Yes, I think I've had my fill for now.
Excellent. He holds a hand in the air. A decanter of brandy over here, please. And do you smoke?
Oh, of course, yes.
Yes.
And 3 World's Edge cigars, please. So a decanter of brandy is plonked on the table along with 3 glasses, which are duly filled, and you were each handed a cigar. Megarius clips off the end of his cigar, sticks it in his mouth, lights it off a candle from the table, and then hands it to one of you. And he carries on like that in a circle until each of you has got a cigar to puff on.
Rightio.
I also take the cigar and I dip the other end in a little bit of brandy because that tastes nice.
Oh. Is this a halfling specialty? Is this what you do after the end of a big meal?
Well, no, not really. It's just a thing that my family do. I think it gives it.
Maybe I should try it. As he dips it into his brandy.
I don't see why not. I do the same.
Oh, delicious.
Add something. Yeah.
Well. Now, I can see where this sort of misunderstanding has come from. I confess it can be only natural, since we do prefer to keep the Society's undertakings confidential. The Ordo Septenarius, is this a term that you've heard of?
Run that by me again?
The Ordo Septenarius.
I understand.
I'm pretty sure the Ordo Septenarius, is that the one that Adolphus Cuthsauce was a part of?
Who is that?
No, that's Callum asking George.
No.
Nope, different secret society.
Ordo Septenarius, Seraphina, since you understand classical, that means the Order of Sevens.
That's what I was going to say. I would know what it meant, but I haven't heard of them.
The Ordo Septenarius is a club, if you like, and most of the members are drawn from the merchant families of the town. There are 49 members in all, 42 normal members, and then 7 of the inner council. We represent the merchant elite within the guild, and we cooperate in order to reap the benefits and profit for us all. We make donations to the temples, keep a soup kitchen over in the pit for the relief of the poor in association with the Temple of Chalia. There are various reasons why we prefer to remain anonymous. Many of us are councillors, like myself, and many of us are in a position to stand for office if they should choose to. So people in these positions would be wide open to accusations of bribery and electioneering if they were to engage in these charitable activities openly. So it would be a shame if the poor were to suffer because we were afraid to do anything for them. Alas, our operation in mercantile ventures is bound to incite a certain amount of bad feeling among our competition. As things are, people are aware that cooperation's going on, but they don't know what's involved, who's involved, or why, and thus they can't openly accuse any individual of malpractice or take any reprisals, and their suspicions tend to work against them, and that gives us an even greater advantage.
Well, I guess that explains things, and if we're going to set up an apothecary guild in this town, we do need to know the ins and outs of this, and who people are, and what they do. We need to
Yes, we wouldn't want to step on any toes and make
But-
sure that we act in the best wishes of this order.
But you understand my need for secrecy. There are many who would reap great political advantage for discovering the membership of the Ordo, and some of our junior members might be tempted by these offers. So we need to offer them some encouragement to abide by the rules of society. And because of this, the workings of the Ordo are wrapped in a certain amount of ritual, or not ritual, the semblance of ritual. Ceremonies, oaths, grades of initiation. Nothing concentrates the mind on thoughts of allegiance more than participation in ceremony and the promise of promotion.
Well, this sounds sort of like a fraternity.
It is a fraternity.
I see no problem with such.
One question actually that I have. Where does the law fit in with the way that this town's sort of inner circle runs, and
The law.
in terms of like the judge and the lawyers and that sort of business?
Well, we aren't breaking the law in any way.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I mean, they're still part of the. Are they part of the inner council too? So, trying to think who's the hierarchy of. I know it's a guild.
I shouldn't mention anything. The Ordo Septenarius is an esoteric society. We have no influence over anyone or anything. It's a completely personal guild. We are an establishment of merchant houses, I would suppose.
I guess I wasn't. Sorry, apologies. I guess I wasn't
the members of the merchant houses that are part of this exclusive fraternity work with each other for the betterment of the economy of this town.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's why we
it
work
would be
together.
it would be against the the interest of the fraternity to work outside of the law, just in case if one of them breaks such things, and it were discovered, it would probably bring hell down on the rest of it, wouldn't it? Say, for example, if an
Are
opportunity...
you blackmailing me?
No. I'm just saying that if an opportunity came up, and a member of the fraternity spotted it but couldn't act on it, it would be your duty to point it out to other members of the fraternity to improve the situation of such. Is that
Indeed.
correct? Yes. No, there's no threats. I was just saying it is in
The Ordo Septenarius.
in any group that requires secrecy and the betterment of its own people and others to work within the bounds of the law. That is just a given. And we can assume that the Ordo Septenarius does such.
Indeed. We have our... As I say, we don't have ritual, we have the semblance of ritual. We establish ourselves as... once you become one of the 50 most important merchants in the town, you want to be well known, don't you?
Of course.
So we create a ritual around you, or the semblance of a ritual around you. And that makes you feel more powerful, and that helps.
There's something about trappings that
Indeed.
that lends itself its own power. Yes, I understand.
Well, Fräulein Honeycakes, how are you intending to establish this guild of apothecaries, herbalists, barbers and barber surgeons?
That, as I understand it, people get sick. They need
Indeed.
medicine. They need this all across the land, not just in this town, but it's beneficial to be set here because of the river, and this is a trade town. This is the perfect place to set up a place. I mean,
There's a niche to be filled in Bergenheim.
A manufactory.
That's
Indeed.
exactly what I'm saying. It
starts with a small individual practice, and once word spreads, then it can be made as a manufactory and a training ground for other apothecaries to spread their ways far and wide, perhaps even charge for the education of such. A miniature university. And, of course, store for restorative aids that are endorsed by trained apothecaries.
People always get sick. People always need medicine. Money's always going to come in.
It's a fancy life.
And you have a premise.
That's it. And it would be extremely wise for you to invest in this, because this is only going to go strength to strength.
We have the premises. We have a willing staff that will be here within, what would you say, a month, 2, Seraphina? From the moot?
Well, I'd say a month sounds about right.
A month and a half at most conservative estimates. And from what I gather, all we need is some to make sure that they are supplied and, anything they need supplanted.
The sea and... Apart from the staff, is anything else going to need to arrive?
Seraphina has a better idea of the inventory than myself.
Well, yes, I need, to make an investment in some of the ins and outs and wares and things that I need to get this started up, as well as, I need an apprentice as well to help me. I do have my uncle is a master apothecary. He's I don't know, you've heard of him. He's feared for his honeycakes, and he's the apothecary for the elder of the moot. He's me stout heart, so he's been the apothecary looking after him for a good long time. We're known in the moot for our wares, but it's just we need to spread that.
Well, I haven't heard anything along these lines, but well, it's nice to know, and I will certainly want to speak. Well, where are you staying while you're in Bogenhaven?
What do we say to that, Callum? Fuck.
For the moment, we're staying in the upstairs of the premises. It was a. Like I said, the building has recently been acquired by us, and so we're saving a little bit on expenses by lodging with it. Like, fuck, are we staying at Fran's dirty place?
Not there, no. Or on the barge, no.
Oh, have you heard of Uncle Yosef?
Yeah.
Just look for the fucking barge with all the ducks.
Oh dear.
Right, what are you telling them?
Well, we're telling that we're staying in the premises. I thought Callum just did that.
Yeah.
Very well. I will try to make contact tomorrow. Failing that, you can meet me at the Merchants Guild all day. It is quite late, so I feel I may have to leave. I may have told you too much about the Order of Septenarius, but
have no fear. Your secret is safe with us, sir. We would not wish to upset any balance in the town by sharing such discreet information. Let's be honest,
Indeed.
it would be against our best interests.
Well, that's exactly that. What I was going to say. I want to use my etiquette gilder talent because, Callum, I guess you don't know, I've leveled up to apothecary, and I've got this as a talent, and it makes unopposed fellowship tests in the setting I'm in with other guilders, and I gain +10 charm and gossip to guild members, which is useful right now to get him to want to maybe make a negotiation with us and get something on paper, because I don't know if he's going to be up with us in the morning. He might get dead for all we know. This fucking meeting he's got at, 12 bells or something, with the weird cult council that he's part of. I don't know.
One after midnight, Right, okay, so you're gonna, has anyone got law?
I have Law Reikland.
Not good enough.
Law. What would that be in? Just an advanced skill?
It's an advanced skill. Law. To write a contract.
Oh, law. LORELAW.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was always like, what laws do you have? I was like, yes, I have that. I have, let's see, etiquette noble, supernumerate, and evaluate. I imagine those would not be suitable.
Nope.
No, language, classical, law, medicine, plants, trade, property, law, science, language, gilder. No. What else have I got?
Okay, well,
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
he says, well, if you can have some people put together a contract, I'd be extremely happy to put my name to it. You seem like a capable bunch, if I may use the expression. Goodbye, and I will see you as soon as I'm able. And he reaches out his hand to shake.
I put up my hand.
Yeah, he shakes it.
It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. A part of my tradition from the Mootland is to give a piece of what we would class as lucky, and it's a symbol of wealth as well. And because it grows everywhere, and I believe that where wealth needs to grow everywhere, and I can see it everywhere in this town. Basically, I'm bullshitting him and giving him some wild garlic as a little gift. Seraphina.
Okay, well, he takes it into his hand. He looks a bit confused by it, but he puts it into his pocket.
It's a strange halfling thing, I say, taking out my piece of garlic, looking like, giving that sort of look as, aren't they weird?
Yes. Well, I must be off. I will see you shortly. And he leaves as quickly as he can. Before he leaves, he said, "Feel free to have whatever drink you wish on my slate. I do have places to be." And he leaves.
Okay. Damn it, I wish I had law. Well, we know that he's going off to that meeting. But,
Well, we want to follow him, don't we? I mean, we know they're definitely part of a secret society now. I mean, we had an inkling, but now we've got a real plan.
I think we do need to follow him.
Like I said, I think he's just a glad-handed sod he's eager to make just money where it is. He said he hadn't realised that your man only meets at night, but I'm pretty sure when you're asked to meet by a guy at night, you know, the first time you think it's just out of hours. The second or third time you think something's up. He's obviously playing along because it makes him more money.
I don't think he's that naive. Yeah.
Like I said, we turn up and watch this meeting. Toygan's there. See if he is there. See how much talking he does. If he does nothing at all, then we just follow him back and ice him anyway. With the big lad and the wide lad. If he does lots of talking, pay attention to who actually listen. Maybe get rid of them.
Funny thing occurred to me, right? When we were all down in the sewer, we went in that room that time. We saw that thing in that circle.
Trying to forget, but go on.
Well, wasn't that a 7-pointed star in the middle of it? I think that's right, isn't it, George? Am I remembering that right?
8 pointers.
7 and a bit. I think 8 maybe.
Uh,
I mean, I'll be honest, I saw it in fucking turn around. That's bad news. We don't deal with that. Look, this isn't some fucking spooky sewer stuff. This is real people and one fucking creature of the night, I guess. And look, one creature of the night versus Nornghal, fucking Stör. We can afford to lose one of them. And, Nornghal's a tough lad.
we just need to go and find out what they do. Strange to me. They need the fraternity to have their own.
Well,
guilds and trades, like
As far
nothing
as
like
I,
I've ever come across before.
as far as I can tell, they're working on their own little microcosm of nobility. It's a caste. They all glad hand and help each other, and keep out anybody that they don't like. They point each other to the good deals that they can't themselves grab, and tell people when they've got good deals and try and pass it on. It's literally just bringing each other up and keeping everyone else down.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. You will have to vacate the premises if you are not going to sit at a table and eat. We will have to ask you to leave.
Oh, sorry. No, I came up to order a drink. I'd like a glass of sect, please.
A glass of sect, and for you.
I will have a cider, please.
Cider. Okay. Very well. That'll be 1 shilling and 4p for the sect and a shilling for the cider.
Oh.
I'll
We
pay
told that
for
they'd
it.
be on Gilmas and Mergurius. Said he would cover these drinks.
Okay. The guy looks down behind the bar. Yes. Yes. Very well. Opening up this cider. Yes. A glass of sect and a bottle of cider. Very, very well. You're here on Gilmas Megarius's slate, as far as I understand it. Whatever you want is on him.
Just these will do. We wouldn't wish to impose on his hospitality.
The bar guy slumps back.
So,
Are you sure that I can't tempt you to a glass of schnapps?
No, thank you.
I'm afraid not, sir. But your efforts are duly appreciated. If we didn't have business to attend to, then I would gladly take you.
Thank you. And he leans back.
That's good to say. Strange how they get the bubbles in it.
Right. So
Yeah, I imagine we drink along, continue dissembling amongst ourselves, and then make our way to the next meeting.
Yeah.
This time with our allies in tow.
Yeah, and you weren't supposed to be at this meeting, were you? Right. Okay. Couple of little things as you're leaving the through the door. You are going to both need to make a endurance test. Average endurance.
Endurance.
1 degree of failure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that 17. My endurance is 41. Yeah, that's powers.
Okay, Ebenezer, you take a corruption point.
Ah, yes. That's 2 now.
Moon is hanging low.
I see a bad moon arising.
Right.
Feel the trouble coming down.
Right. So this has been pretty much in real time, and we will leave it there, I think.
Yeah.
Anything that we need to establish before we finish, or?
I'd like to say thank you to our viewers for tuning into this small aside, and tell them that a new full-length episode will be coming soon. Also, if Ebenezer is your favourite character, I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hello to the Australian listeners as well.
Yeah, the Australian listener, they're kicking our ass.
Yeah.
We're more popular in Australia.
Put your feet up.
Sorry?
If you're Australian, put your feet up and lie back. Keep that ground harness secure so you don't fall off the bottom.
And that brings an end to what we will call episode 9.5. This has been our playthrough of the Enemy Within campaign, written by Graeme Davis and several other people credited in the description. This episode is part of Enemy in Shadows. The intro music was War and Peace. by freestockmusic.com, and full credit of that will also be in the description below. Our cast this episode was Sez as Seraphina, Esmerelda, Honeycakes, and Callum as Ebenezer Gütte, with myself as the GM. Next time we will have the whole party back together for the big 1-0, with a bond hopefully as strong, incidentally, as the 10 tribes of the Empire. Until then, stay safe and fear not the doomsayers.